My name's Bob Platt. I own and operate Paragon Farms, Tipton, Michigan, Tipton Highway. This farm we're standing on right now, my grandmother bought in 1949, but just down the road, it's been in the family for 151 years this summer. We raise corn and soybeans on about a 50-50 rotation, trying to put cover crops on 100% of our ground. We've got about 270 acres of tillable land. Generally, these are clay loam soils. I don't know the names of them for sure, but it varies. We got a little sandy ridge right out over in here, but a lot of this is just pretty heavy clay. Most of it's fairly poorly drained, which we're working on repairing tile or tiling more than what we've had, which I think is a big plus, particularly when it comes to no-till and for anything for that matter. Well, I've been no-tilling for about, I think this is the 13th year, 100% no-till. First few years no cover crop, and then started experimenting with some cover crop after wheat. I'm not a great fan of clovers. They're hard to kill, they're hard to plant into. I've put out some radishes a few times. I'm not sure I think they scavenge nutrients, but I'm not sure they offer a huge benefit to the soil. Kind of push it out in a few things, but I'm trying to put annual ryegrass into the standing corn to come into soybeans, because corn is supposed to be a little antagonistic with the cereal rye because they're similar grass type plants. But we didn't get a very good catch on the cereal rye this last year, but we've got just an awesome stand of annual ryegrass here, so we've planted corn into this year. And I think the benefits of the annual ryegrass is its massive amount of roots. And if you get a good catch of it, it really does cover, and it prevents surface erosion, it prevents wind erosion. I think winter is a big time to tell, because you don't see the brown dirt in the ditches on this frozen ground when you get wind. I think it offers a lot of benefits. This has been burned down. This corn has been in the ground now, I think, 3 weeks. Actually, it's come up pretty good. Here's some here that was standing, so this gives us an idea of how tall this really was. It was what, 8 to 10 inches tall probably when we started to burn it down, using some Roundup 2,4-D for the broadleaves, just to try to knock it back. I do like planting. I don't necessarily like planting into green annual ryegrass, because I kind of like to get it killed first. But I'm going over these fields once with a sprayer and once to plant it, maybe again to post spray it. But our fuel costs are very low. I've got kind of older tractors, and I don't have to have big horsepower tractors with big tillage equipment. We're not going over tilling and ripping and doing other things. We're just coming out and planting. And I think for me, it's a real cost savings, and it's a time savings. I can have this field planted by the time I'm out here and fitting it down, getting it ready to plant. You can see the roots, and probably every shovelful of dirt I get will find earthworms coming out. This is a little damp, but see how this soil, particularly after I've been no-tilling now for 13 years, how it wants to really crumble apart. If you've been tilling stuff without these roots in it, I think it's hard to get that dirt to crumble apart like that. But these roots are just massive, and particularly in the surface, but they go down several feet. This is what we call soil structure that we're trying to get to. The more granular, the more porous, the more open it is. You get better water infiltration, better root growth. We've had a discussion before, some of the people that I know that are no-tilling in. The benefit to cover crop, we feel, is if you no-till. Because as soon as you turn this dirt over and introduce more air into it, it starts burning the carbon that we're trying to create. And that's what it's all about, is the roots are basically carbon. It's turning into organic matter. We're trying to build organic matter, which will take forever, but it's what the goal really is. Of course, organic matter turns into water holding capacity, which nutrient storage capacity, and other things, which is beneficial in the long run. So to get started, I think no-till is a little bit of a hard sell to some people, because they just don't think you can raise corn or soybeans for that matter without tilling the soil, but you can. And I think to take the next step from no-till is the cover crop.